Reserve time. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Lena.
DC's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Vengeful spirits.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the National Palace of the Arts. We are live from Kiev at the Major. Elimination Day 1 has begun well underway now. Kevin, is DC look to stave off that threat, force this series versus VG.J to a deciding game number 3. Yeah. Draft is not complete. You think they have what it takes?
I think so. I'm a little unsure about their confidence, maybe. The series they played yesterday, for example, they took it 1-2 versus TNC. They played amazing in their early games, and then they really fell off a little bit after they lost some of that pressure. And considering how Game 1 went, where they had a lot of advantage, and then they dropped off and ultimately lost the game with some close team fights, that's got to hurt their morale a bit here.
All right. Well, as mentioned, you know, this is a team that all the players are reasonably experienced on DC. All have competed at Valve events, but as a squad, it is their first appearance on a big stage. So sometimes that can be an issue, just not having, you know, good ways of like dealing with stress or avoiding tilt. So that said, their qualifier run was not easy. When you look back at how they got to this position, they did not go in as favorites in the North American qualifier. They actually struggled quite a bit and just like barely eked their way into the playoffs, and still ended up making a really good run. So I guess that bodes well potentially, is they're going to make the invasion play here, looking for FY, but it looks like VG might be trying to punish this.
Yeah, they're sticking around here. RTK's pretty good frontliner here.
Oh, great stun by Demon. Could have been an easy first blood, but now Mason able to scurry away.
Ooh, got Orb of Venom. This could be a further chase now. Okay.
There's the Ven stun. FY still pursuing as he delivers one of the longest range melee attacks over C from Monkey King, but they do end up securing their jungle.
So he did grab Jingu Mastery at level 1 here. This could change FY's game a bit, but it kind of looks like VG.J was planning to go aggro try here. Nope, swinging towards the mid lane, perhaps trying to get to the courier in time. But
and holding that courier quite far back as the Monkey King sneaks in. Just a little, nothing to see here, folks.
He says. There's the ping though from from Abed. He knows where the Monkey King is. I don't think it's going to get to Abed anytime soon. In the meantime, aggro dual lane, Centaur plus Warlock. This kind of seems to be a bit of the hero the last couple days, though. Warlock comboed with a tanky offlaner. Centaur Warrunner has fallen off and picking a lot. Used to be top pick, but it's making a comeback here with the heals.
Seems the locals may have begun imbibing as they start cheering for teams not competing in the match, but a slow and calm opening initially as we see Demon wrapping around, maybe threatening to go on RTK here. Could bring in Dubu and have some first blood potential, but Fenrir there to scout it out as he's going to get caught out in a pretty awkward position. Stun number 1, stun number 2. Mason taking the long way around. He's going to start spinning. Fenrir almost walking into it, but actually able to juke away. The Centaur just body blocked Mason for a moment, so uses that early Blade Fury, which does take about half his mana away, but will at least force the Warlock back for the time being. Demon's trying to chase him, has the boots advantage, has the stun, can maybe threaten for a kill here, but there's still Tango regen combined with the Shadow Word. Demon really wants this kill. He wants to give his team a strong start, but Fenrir is just a bit too tanky.
Yeah, I think it's completely worth it for him. There's almost no pressure for him having boots. Mason played that perfectly. He spun early to stop the Centaur stun, but ROTK with the body blocks reacted to that perfectly to save the Warlock there. So not too much pressure from FY just yet here. Abed's still doing, actually he's doing terrible. 1 and 2. That's not good.
That is a real bad start. Freeze currently 11 and 11. 22 total last hits in this lane.
This reminds me a little bit of when they picked Abed the Alchemist in the mid lane. It was an Alchemist versus a TA. Not a good matchup. This one is a little better for Invoker at least, but Freeze is wrecking right now.
Yeah, look at the pressure he gets, and there's still no points in Quas for Abed, so every bit of damage is just brutal to have to deal with as he'll drop his second to last Tango. Trying to regen back up, but yeah, he's just getting completely bullied. And actually has to be careful not to drop into slave kill range with Freeze constantly peppering him. Even went for the double null tally for the extra lane dominance. So Freeze off to a fantastic start here mid and doing it without really any help currently. I guess worth mentioning, you always have to be careful about FY potentially showing up mid. And that may be affecting Abed's ability to last hit here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was watching his courier in the early game, worried about last hitting that way. He did try for like a Sunstrike right-click kill on the range creep early, and I did see he missed it, so that I'm sure cost him a little bit as well. But him grabbing the Wex is most likely because he wants Alacrity here. It's the only way he can be competitive with the Lina, at least right now, considering her early last hits.
Of course, looking at DC, great comeback lineup as they have Empower, they have a melee carry to use it, they have a support in the Venge that scales very well, and of course Invoker with Sunstrike can definitely get back in the game should the Nyx be able to set up some ganks. But it's a support Nyx, so those rotations aren't going to be coming particularly early.
The fast 3 at 6, it's going to be so much better for DC, especially because Venge is not really the best roaming hero. Has some mana problems, not the best at bullying heroes. It's going to take Nyx setting up those Sunstrike kills.
FY looking to set up here in the mid lane. TP from tree to tree might have been spotted.
They saw them grab the rune, that's why. The DD disappeared, the Observer Ward was there, and now they know there's a smoke.
A bit of wasted time as we're going to see the scan connecting. So Demon and Dubu still trying to figure out where to go. The scan's still showing. Heroes are in the neighborhood, so it's going to play this one safe. In fact, Freeze trying to reveal the smoke and does manage to clip Dubu, forcing him away. They did get a ward down on the high ground, so that vision perhaps will help stabilize this mid lane for Abed, but Abed really struggling early. CS game is on point for VG Gaming as they've got 3 in the top 4. Now the jump onto the top lane. Boba getting caught out here on the Magnus. Can they chase him down? They've already committed the open wounds. They've got the phase boots. Boba turning and trying for the Quelling Blade, but the first blood does go the way of VG. Quick, decisive kill.
They do kill Freeze though on the mid lane. I didn't see how they wrapped around. They must have just ran through the jungle. Maybe it was Freeze feeling really safe because he did reveal them, but that's absolutely a big kill here.
Yeah, he revealed one. I think by that point, Demon's
it was Dubu, I believe.
Smoke might have worn off, but it also is nighttime, so you don't have the best vision.
And yeah, there's actually way better wards around the mid lane for the Radiant team. The Dire team, it's spots near the rune spot where they might wrap around and gank the Warlock or the Centaur. Definitely a big target would be Warlock, but ultimately, because of that ward, Freeze ends up getting caught instead. Going to help Abed catch up a lot in the mid lane. He's actually still about 500 gold behind. Pretty big, but Invoker's a farmer. He may get there.
DC looking to set up here, and RTK going to walk right into it, but they continue to chase. They are going to get the vent stun. Long-range lob from Dubu. Sunstrike, Blade Fury, and the stun from the Nyx. Is it enough for the kill? Mason secures it, because he was still spinning, able to dodge that Centaur stun with ease. So this is a much-needed kill for their team as Abed starts to crawl his way back into the game. I guess now with things a bit slowed down, though as I say that, Freeze moving in mid. He's only level 5. He's not really that close to the Laguna, so gonna need some help if he wants to go for this kill.
Yeah, it'd be a hard kill. It's a little unfortunate for him, but did you take a look at Jug? This is the least cosmetic items I've literally ever seen on a Juggernaut. This is like very, very important, right? It's got little bracer things, no Arcana.
I mean, this is the legendary Mason, and he's just going classic Mason.
He just doesn't care.
Pre-Arcana era. Old school.
New stuff. Demon's still hanging out around the mid lane, ready for setup here. But will they get the D ward? Ooh, he's going to get the sentry too. That's huge, actually.
Yeah, now to be fair, I guess it's not like the Nyx can really exploit the lack of a sentry, as he's not close to Vendetta, but still a nice 2 for the price 1, and ensures their obs will be uncontested as Void lurks near the bottom lane, but Jug not a particularly easy kill. And Dubu sitting very far back here, so overall thoughts, Kevin, as we start to approach the tail end of the laning stage here. As I say that, they're going to make the move on Mason, but it's really not a killable target unless you get perfect chain stun, and even then I think it's still unlikely.
I think they could get him pretty close with the double edge, as well as the extra 100 damage from Primal Spring. They would have gotten him kind of close, especially with some Orb of Venom hits. It's a good execution, but it doesn't work out. Does cost him a lot of mana though, so I mean ROTK's having a great lane. That part's pretty obvious here. It's almost hitting level 6 while kind of in dual lane experience. So I would say as a whole, VG.J is definitely winning the game right now.
Yeah, and certainly the graphs reflected already up 1,500 gold with only the 1 kill advantage, so we are going to see
another aggressive ward
trying to claw their way back into it. ROTK continue to leech and now does have access to Stampede, so makes it much harder to find those Sunstrike pickoffs for a hero who might get caught out of position, though needs the mana to activate it. They're going to give the mid lane to FY temporarily, as he's already hit 4 and change. Freeze coming back, does have the Laguna now. Might see a go on Abed sometime soon. So he'll start to work his way towards the Midas. Is catching up decently on the Invoker at 26 CS, but still not a great start overall.
And the supports on DC's side are still having a little trouble finding some action. I mean, they got the D-ward mid, they got the other Lina kill, but they've been looking for kills and not doing that much else. They'll give another shot at that right now. Smoke's popped.
All right, who will they find? Dubu backing up Abed in the mid lane, and meanwhile, FY in position to reveal that smoke should they head back towards top. Instead, they're going to plunge into the dire jungle here. But Lina,
they gotta land the
Freeze in a good position. They go for the Wave of Terror. They don't have the follow-up, but now the TP rotation's going to come in. They did commit the Stampede, but that actually allows them to set up on a Demon. Rage from Aggressive, mauling away at the Nyx Assassin. Just a couple more auto attacks will commit the Carapace for this. The Dragon Slave not timed quite right. Won't be enough for the kill there, but Aggressive able to get that one last swipe, bring him down.
Pretty much perfect positioning there by Freeze when doing the Ancients there. They go high ground almost instantly, their smoke breaks, and those guys are not going to be as fast as Alina, who's got Fiery Soul, so very difficult for them to initiate and do the chain stun. But if they would have gotten the first stun off, absolutely kill possibility with the Sunstrike. So it was kind of a good attempt for DC, maybe not the right path to take, maybe a difficult gank to get in the first place.
So DC, we are seeing Bulba go for the extra points in Empower, which has become like the de facto Magnus build as of late. Grabbed the Iron Talent earlier. It's going to be going for the Blink Dagger first. So I guess, Kevin, thoughts on how DC get their way back into this game? Is there something in particular they're waiting on? And if so, what is it?
Yeah, I think the Blink is absolutely an aspect of that. A lot of times we do see Midases picked up on Magnuses, and sometimes after Blink, sometimes before. So I think the Blink is a great way to start that. A lot of Magnuses have been really crucial for that. RP, the good hero, skewer them to you, get the Omni Slash off. That's a kill on a tower usually. So I think that's what they're aiming for. Little pressure pushes like this are really effective as well. These two supports are both very good pre-6, so it should be set. Mason getting a little low though. This is getting dangerous.
A little scary as the jump comes in. Monkey King pouncing together with Aggressive on the Demon. Looking for the Carapace timing here. Aggressive able to finish him off though. Gets the kill. And the rest of the team forced to retreat. So tower still held bottom lane. All the while, Abed is getting a little me time working towards the Midas. Pretty close at that. But it's still in general, it does feel like VG Gaming are a lot more confident in their movements around the map.
Yeah, all these lifestealer rotations have been so effective. If it was any other hero, it would be difficult to kill the next assassin. But using Rage, stopping the Spike Carapace reflection, it's making Demon a target, which is good, but he's consistently getting killed because of it. So DC's making their opponents move, but it's not providing good trades for them.
Here comes the Fenrir hate parade as 4 heroes make the move towards this top lane. They're going to drop a ward behind the tower. I'm not sure if we got a glimpse of Fenrir. I think he was already behind the trees, but reinforcements start to arrive. So see FY come in, already has the Wukong's command available. The Rock isn't quite ready yet, and he is going to get scouted by Dubu. So he's able to jump a little bit farther away. They begin to cut this wave. No sign of a full defense of this tower. Just Abed sitting mid, but as I say that, reinforcements coming in. RTK is going to be the first man in. Has the hood already. Omni Slash doesn't care about that. Sunstrike won't too much either. RTK able to just barely squirm away. Gets the heal and will end up treating successfully. So pretty big commitment there. Not able to find the kill. Not able to quite find the tower as Freeze will deny it. So DC, well, at least they don't lose anything of their own, but still not really finding the fights they're looking for.
I think that one was a lot better, though. It was very similar to what we just saw on the bot tower, but despite the deny, definitely a great kill, or a great pressure. Forced so many heroes to rotate. They didn't lose anybody. The Monkey King ultimate was maybe the biggest loss there. It's 130 seconds now at level 1, and Boba was able to instantly skewer him outside of the range, so definitely a good advantage to have in the next couple engagements. And now, actually, RTK, he's the one that's sitting top, because it's kind of dangerous anyways for anyone else to sit up here. So there is some map pressure opened up. Basically, tower advantage is equal now, which I think kind of favors DC a lot, just because Abed can hit Ancients, doesn't have to worry about pressure towards him, and also the Jug with Empower. There's more jungle camps to cleave. So I think this is okay for DC right now.
Not to mention, it opens up some windows for Demon to find ganks, and he is very close to Vendetta here, about to hit level 6. So
definitely late, by all means. Toma Knowledge is purchasable, but he's opting not to bother. I'm going to hit 6 here, just 2-3 creeps maybe.
Gotta get that Midas.
Even if it's 150 gold faster. I don't agree with that at all. I think the faster is 6, the better. I maybe should have even bought this earlier than this. Hoping for a TP from an ally is asking. Seeing if there's maybe an option.
They do a Sunstrike here as well. Might be able to find the kill just with that alone. FY goes splat. And with that, Demon gets that much closer to that Midas.
A little bit of patience for that one, but all of a sudden the game changes. And huge threat for VG.J. All of their heroes except for maybe the Centaur. Got to be worried about this, especially Warlock. Monkey King's a big deal. Even Lina. Those are big threats until she gets her Yules.
Oh, Tubu very close to getting picked off here as he dropped an Ops. Is going to be dewarded almost immediately, but was able to TP out before that Centaur stomp came in.
This is such a crucial time to have Observer Wards up as well, because it's right when all the ganks will come, all the pressure. Still got to keep an eye on Nyx, though, since he will be invis most of the time, but can't get those dewarded.
Next steps here for the respective teams, Kevin. We are pretty close to a Magnus Blink. I believe Centaur Blink also not that far off, and Freeze about to get a Yules as we see VG smoke up.
Yeah, the Yules is huge for Freeze because it's going to stop any of those Sunstrike setups. That'll be a big deal, but VG.J's all their ultimates are ready. Dubu breaks the smoke, though.
Demon comes in, could set up for a good stun here on multiple heroes, but actually he is going to get caught out. Sentry was dropped, but he just scurries a bit to the left, so no follow-up threat of killing the Nyx.
With the D-Ward now, he can't even pressure forward, although maybe he'll get a spot on the Monkey King. He does have a Quelling Blade as well, so he could stun him if he's confident.
RTK with the Stampede available as well. You're going to see Mason forced to TP away, and that just frees up this mid-tower. RTK beginning to tank it, has the 3 points in return to bring it down that much quicker, and FY covers the backside, so it's only Demon who can even stick around, but his Vendetta is about to wear off. Demon's about to get caught.
They see him.
And the stun onto the lifesteal, I should say. But now the pounce comes through. Monkey King moving forward. They get the stun. Good timing on the Carapace, but simply does not matter when a Rage lifestealer is mauling you. So down he goes. All of this right before Bulba is able to grab his Blink. Is now online, but with that tower falling, a lot of room for VG Gaming J to roam in the upcoming 5 to 10 minutes.
And we haven't even really seen like a lifestealer bomb yet. Just going to continue being a threat now, especially with the Blink on the Centaur. So DC is going to move together a bit. They'll respawn the next TPM on in. He's got his ulti as well, so he'll get there fast, but they got to start winning fights soon because I feel like VG.J's pressuring towers and controlling the map a whole lot better.
kind of a reversal of game 1 where it was early VG.J playing very passively as Dubu going to get caught out here on the top lane. Quick jump into a Centaur stomp. The follow-ups there from Aggressive. Another kill for this very active squad. You're going to see a Sunstrike, though, and Abed with Demon continue to be the tandem getting things done for DC. We'll find that kill on the south side.
That'll make up for things a little bit, but you know, if Demon wasn't dead, it wouldn't have been Dubu getting initiated on. It would have been Demon scouting to spot the Centaur. So their push getting completely shut down there was another reaction of Demon's mistake on the mid lane. So things are adding up pretty quick, and they got to keep pressuring. But it's so hard for them right now. Their gimmies are killing the split pushing Monkey King, who feels a little bit safe, but that's not going to win you the game by itself. You got to start killing the Lina, maybe the Warlock. You could maybe pray for a Lifestealer kill too, but good luck on that one.
Yeah, unless if they commit like RP or swap into Omni and there's nothing to infest, maybe, but it's, like you said, good luck. You need things to really combine just right to find that opportunity.
Still a little surprised they did go for Magnus, though. It's a hero that they barely touched during the group stage, actually. I remember Conrad even remarked at one point that it was a hero they just ignored, always playing like Legion Commander, different offlane heroes for Boba instead. And compared to other mags, we haven't seen an RP kill yet. And almost every other mag player I've seen has been getting RP kills from the moment he hit 6. Still nothing from him.
And they definitely have like the setup for it and the follow-up with the vent swap to initiate now online. As Demon's going to get caught out here at the North River. Stampede coming through, does manage to Carapace, gets the 2 hero stun into the Roche pit, trying to TP away, going for the suicide instead. Yeah, Roche will take him down, so a nice save by Demon. Ends up falling, but doesn't end up giving up the kill.
Yeah, 30 seconds dead. Stampede's on cooldown for 74. It was all right, considering. Could have been another death here. Monkey King's just been doing such a good job getting vision, though. Great aggressive wards, kind of weird spots, spotting where the heroes are, whether or not they're sitting behind the Juggernaut. It's put him in a good spot, and it's maybe one of the rare times we don't see a Jug way ahead of his opponents due to Empower. It's farming well, though. It's getting pretty close to Lifestealer, considering no Midas.
Yeah, Lifestealer have been doing a little bit more through the actual combat against enemy heroes. They're going to start to clear an Ancient stack here. Freeze coming in for the assist. And Ancient's now down. Wondering when Vici goes for that next round of aggression.
I mean, they might as well do it soon, right? Lifestealer looks so farmed compared to Juggernaut. Juggernaut's probably, yeah, he's just about at Manta. Empower will make up for a lot of this disadvantage, but the Sanj, Midas, Armlet, Lifestealer's going to kill all these heroes really fast. None of them really have that much armor. In fact, like Invoker, for example, this guy's going to get shredded by a Lifestealer if he finds him.
Yeah,
he's got eggs, though.
And, you know, speaking of the need to get aggressive here, Abed has quietly gotten himself back into relevance and finds himself with an Ags complete, 3rd in net worth as VG Gaming make their move. They've got the initiation potential here from RTK. Who's he going to get? He gets caught by the Wave of Terror. He runs right into a Tornado. Good reaction play by Abed.
Oh, the RP.
Now the RP. That's on 2, but the counterplay comes through from Fenrir, dropping the rock, blocking Bulba in place. Now forced to turn tail and run. They'll lose Dubu. Can they get out cleanly from there? Mason has the Omni, eats the Laguna, does go down. Tasered from behind as Freeze halts him in his tracks. Now the Sunstrike on top of where his corpse is about to lie. Abed gets put 6 feet under by Aggressive. 3 down in the end. He got the 2-hero RP, but the Warlock ult was the trump card.
Yeah, I don't think he had anything like Meteor ready. If it was, it would have been amazing. Either way, Tornado reaction, the Wave of Terror to interrupt the Blink for Centaur, it made the fight so much better for DC, but the Golem did just enough to disable their ability to continue pressuring. And the RP really was kind of just felt life-saving, not so much it's time to fight. So DC doesn't get what they want out of that one, losing 3 heroes and the important Invoker. That's not good.
I believe the 2 heroes they caught in the RP were, what, the Lifestealer and the Centaur? So like it's not like these are easy kills by any means. Like Lifestealer's with Armlet over 2k HP, lots of armor. RTK has the hood, so you know, hard's RP into what is kind of the question.
And it's perfect for Lina as well. He does not want to get engaged on. Maybe another Monkey King kill.
FY, putting on his Nikes, going for the juke into the trees, and then no. Demon says, you're dead. Good stun, follow-ups there. Another Monkey King death, but it really does feel, Kevin, like a space created overall kind of game for the Monkey King. Yeah, he's died a couple of times, but the team's farming freely. He's getting good wards down in their territory, and he's still up there as far as net worth goes. Meanwhile, you've got Dubu running around on 800 net worth, and he's at 36.
Yeah, and the hard part is, as well, is that there's so many heroes on VG Gaming that can find engagements, mostly the Centaur, but it's been a bit tougher for Dubu to just be what he should be, which is swap out a hero that maybe gets initiated on. And even then, it's what are you stopping? You're stopping Centaur stun, maybe Infernal Golem. It's not like you're removing, I don't know, Magnus RP, for example, like a big teamfight ability that's game-changing if you counter it. So it's difficult for DC to frame these fights in the way that gives them an advantage. And even if they do, I'm not sure if they have the best counters.
So I'm curious for your thoughts here on the Lina pick from Freeze and the way he's itemizing. Went back for BOTs, now Bloodstone in the quick buy. Do you like the Lina build? Do you see Freeze going pretty late with this hero?
He had to get the Yules this game. It was too important not to, because Omni Slash would kill him, a stun into Sunstrike would kill him. He needed the Yules to protect himself from those two things. So basically he's going standard now. And the BOTs on top of that, maybe to try to turn around some pressure ganks that happen in various places. The extra movement speed is potentially really good against heroes like Jug, maybe even Magnus as well. So the only thing I don't fully understand maybe is the BOTs, but I think the Yules super justified this game.
I guess it's quite nice with you have like Stampede, you have BOTs and Lina, and maybe Infesting Lifestealer, so turnaround potential on ganks is a bit deceptive for VG.
He's basically an IO, right? Jump in me, Lifestealer, we're going over there.
A very tanky and potent IO, but yes, definitely.
Did go the Light Strike Ray damage as well. Kind of interesting considering the old Scepter, but I like it. He'll be able to basically get free buybacks this game a couple times.
He'll have a very quick respawn as Freeze moves into the Roach Pit, is going to combine with Aggressive. Going back for the Dead Slater now. Sunstrike will scout this out, but
Can they get here in time though?
If the follow-up comes, that is another question. They are TPing into an Observer Ward. Demon showing himself.
Centaur can't go though, he's getting hit by Roach. This is going to be, Monkey King can stop him maybe.
Oh, he went for the stun, but he only hit a Rage Lifestealer, so Aggressive is going to get the Aegis for free. And now DC, having been scouted, might want to back away.
Yeah, their tempo is definitely off here. They showing up to a Roche like that late is almost much worse than just not going at all, to be honest, because it barely slowed down VG Gaming at all. They still get the Aegis, and that's a bunch of TPs, movement. They know exactly where DC is. Their ward spotted out 2-3 of them, which means the next 45 seconds or so for VG's easy. They'll just wait till they're full healed, group is 5, and start pressuring those tier 2 towers.
And again, that's all due to the Monkey King and that great Observer Ward that's setting it up. So not something you'll see on the scoreboard, but something that FY still creates for his team. As Demon now moving through the Dire Jungle. He actually walks past a minefield of Sentry Wards and into a dust. The Stomp is there. Follow-up coming through. Aggressive. Rage cooling down and trying to wait for the right opening. Demon throws out a wild stun. But it's a swing and a miss of a gank. Maybe forcing it too much now, Kevin, is he's just desperate to set up these kills, but gets punished.
Yeah, this is the first one the first kind of pressuring he did without Monkey King being in a aggressive pushing position. So he even anticipates the ward on the high ground, but that's not actually what happened. Just all these sentries are very smart by VG Gaming. This is where the Nyx is going to go looking for cores, because that is the safest place for VG Gaming's heroes to farm.
It's like the Great Wall of Sentries, right?
Yeah.
You've got to go like all the way into the top lane, and then you're just walking near the tower where backup can come in anyway. So.
It's a lot of gold by all means, but if you're winning like this and you can continue getting those pickoffs and making sure they don't get pickoffs when you're winning with net worth, that continues your lead, helps you close it out.
And as we talk a lot here, Freeze maybe going to get caught by Abed. Is on the hunt, throwing out the Tornado, not going to connect. So we will see Freeze back away, but we talk a lot about the Nyx getting caught, and again, this goes back to your point, like we just haven't seen much out of Bulba this game as far as ganks go.
Yeah.
The 1 RP top, but actually end up getting punished. Now Mason trying to TP away. Dubu is there, has the swap available if it's required. Now stampeding through. He really wants this kill. Swapping mid-stampede, so still able to get on top of him is RTK. Now the follow-up coming through. The Boundless Strike Laguna. They throw the kitchen sink at Mason, and it is enough to take down the big man. Now Freeze looking for Dubu here in the trees. Finds him with the Yules, throws him up in the air, drops him back down into the stun.
Waits for the Bloodstone. I'll take one more charge, thank you. Up to 13 now.
Have a good day, sir.
Yeah. Still no big RPs. Hard for DC to find the fight, and they just look kind of broken after last game.
You can see that once the question about this team was how would they perform under pressure as a squad. You know, we've seen great individual performances from most of these players at the past Valve events, but not as a 5-man team, and VG Gaming showing backbone here as they lead 13-5, up by about 12, maybe 13,000 gold, quickly making work of this tier 2 top. They'll bring that down too. Gonna reset, just to be reclaimed in 2 minutes, but I believe about to get the Desolator here on aggressive. Just needs the recipe, it looks like. So another power spike coming for this squad. To go with that, RTK has picked up a Reaver. So Bloodstone already, as you mentioned, online. Shadowblade coming for Freeze. All the cores are farming. The Monkey King's the only remotely poor hero, and even he's pretty close to a Basher, Kevin. VG Gaming are not only winning now, but itemizing so that their armory can just let them win like the next 15, 20 minutes with ease.
And I don't see that same kind of strength out of DC. They still have Midas on Nyx Assassin. He's hoping to find a free Monkey King pushing out the top lane, so they're using the illusions to sort of bait that by pushing, but it's so tough for them to find these kills. Even if Demon walks into freeze here, I don't see that working out so hot for them either.
Yeah, remember, you walk into him, you have to worry about the stampedes. You have to get a clean kill, completely chain stun him, or he's likely to get away.
They just all look so safe on VG.J. Look, they're actually spread 5 across the map, taking whatever they want, continuously putting wards in the place where DC is going to have to cross to actually gap close them. And honestly, even if DC uses a lot of smokes right now to get some of these kills, if it's not more than 1, I don't even know if it's worth it. Because on this trajectory, VG Gaming is going to get so far ahead that DC will really need smokes at some point to win major team fights.
Well, these Infest Bombs just got a whole lot scarier. Now, you don't see her coming, but Freeze could well be the vehicle delivering that Lifestealer payload. Probably not into a team fight, but certainly into a pick-off.
Yeah, and hard as well for DC to get the engagements. Even sometimes being invis for half a second cancels a swap or disjoints a stun or gets you just a little bit of distance between you and your opponents.
Have we only seen the 1 RP this game from bo3?
I think that's the only one we've seen. It's great RP, but maybe needed more. Sentry down does spot freeze very briefly here. It's going to make them unconfident.
Dubu made a boo-boo. He gets punished for it. VG Gaming catch him out, and now perhaps transition into a push, though. The only tier 2 up is the bottom. So Abed's going to push that lane out as he works towards the Octarine, but at this point, if you're DC, what is the game plan? Is it just play the long con and just try to take it ultra late, just looking to farm on, you know, Mag, Jug, and a split pushy Invoker, or do you try to find a fight?
I think they might be biding some of their time. Obviously, they'd love to get a free pickoff or something like that. Yeah, they're just constantly hunting for Lina. They did this on the top lane as well. Sentry down, wait to see if Lina approaches, or maybe another hero if they also have Invis. Try to get that kill. And with that, they could actually control the map a bit. But if Lina doesn't actually walk into one of those, and she may soon, wait until Roche, take another fight then, try to take the Aegis, use that for advantage.
They did see Freeze here as he scoots right past an Observer Ward. Demon is going to commit for this, but remember, there is Stampede ready. And he's safely tucked behind the tower. In fact, the rotation's coming. FY will grab an Invis Rune. They want to pounce on Freeze. It could end up being a trap. They're going to get the stun. Follow-ups there. Meatball gets dropped. They get the kill quick, and now they need to get out just as quick. Aggressive coming in. Not able to finish him off in time. They do scatter, retreat successfully, but Abed getting clipped on the way out. FY there, leaping forward, getting the balance strike. It is a good tornado.
What a tornado.
Will he be able to get out? He will! Sick play by Abed. Makes it back towards safety, so both of DC escape, and they waste some much-needed VG time.
I don't know if I've ever seen a tornado TP on 3 heroes. That was incredible.
Under pressure, a potential elimination game, and a youngster, to put it mildly. Abed, still not at the age of majority, but he was cool as a cucumber there.
And that kill alone gave them a big gold advantage. At least helps make up some of the stuff that VG Gaming has been attaining this whole game. Helping Demon, he's got his Blink Dagger now. A very hopeful queue up of the Ags on him. But VG Gaming pushing the bot lane out. They'll probably take this tier 2 tower, then it's about Roche time. And then the game changes again. That'll be the next place the fight happens. But with the ward advantage that VG Gaming currently has and far more towers nearby, might be hard for DC to take it. But if they can, it could turn this game around. All they need is a big team fight win, maybe a couple more crucial ganks. They're going to spot the Lina again. Maybe they can play around this.
Freeze does have the Yule Scepter, so they kind of need to stun him into the Omni. Time it properly, and they do just that. DC striking again. Some clutch kills here when they desperately need them. These little traps are paying off, and I almost wonder, like, do we have to see a gem commitment from VG, or either that, or do we just see Lina no longer going for those solo ganks?
Yeah, I mean, those 2 deaths in a row really changed the tempo a lot. DC's got to feel more confident. In fact, 5 Bloodstone charges on Lina. She's still dead for 30 seconds when she goes down. And Invoker's at the same net worth now. He's almost got his Octarine. Tornadoes all over the place.
Well, considering how many he hit with that one, where he was completely under pressure, Abed gonna lob out a Sunstrike here.
It's a heat-seeking tornado. I think that actually works like that anyways. Maybe.
In Abed's hands, it certainly does. Yeah, and very close now to the Octarine. Only about 40 gold away, so they're gonna make their move on top. Demon getting caught out here, blinking away, going for the TP out. Don't tell me Demon gets out too. No, stomp from RTK. Again, pretty close to escaping, but this time he will fall.
That was super well done there. Very almost made it. Does force VG Gaming to go from their very defensive farm neutral creeps posture to kill me, but in the meantime, the Waits are actually in a really good spot. It's been a while since DC felt like they had some space on the map, but they're all out on the map, farming, getting last hits, trying to catch up. Basher for Jug is his next item. That could be huge, actually, especially against heroes like Lina. I mean, he's had a lot of backup to get the kills in the last engagement, but if he can also get a lucky bash off at the crucial time to prevent the Yules, could matter against a lot of these heroes. Same as Lifestealer. So it's a way to control him if he actually uses Rage. If you can hit him, if you can damage him without dying.
A lot of ifs there. But yeah, I was wondering, would Vici commit to a gem, and FY does exactly that now. So perhaps this will be their tool, not only to sniff out some of these traps and get rid of at least all the sentry wards that have been littering the map, but also maybe catch Demon when he's on the gank. So could be a big pickup. We'll see.
Yeah, that's another question. Is he going to see it, or is it just going to get him a kill right off the bat?
Let's find out. Boba on the move, bottom lane, smoked, hasted, has the Shadow Blade, all the mobility in the ward. I think he actually walked into tower range there. The ping came out and immediately they run away. So either saw him or just suspected it. As Aggressive walks on the high ground, has the Aegis, Blink Stun is there. Will deal with those illusions, but Vici wasting no time in starting to threaten high ground here.
That was pretty good defense right now. I mean, Demon's level 14, so his mana burn's actually maxed out. That's so significant right now because he actually skipped his talent tree. Very uncommon, but because of it, they get to mana burn like 3 times there with a 4-second cooldown set at the 12. A little bit of pressure on the Lina, but she's completely fine. Abed also did take the tier 2 tower right before that mid pressure, so DC, they're scratching back up into this one, I think.
Yeah, DC definitely ramping up as Abed already complete the Octarine, now building towards a much-needed BKB. There is a Lina eggs in the game, but aside from that, lots of things that he would love to stop, I guess, most notably that Centaur Stomp follow-up to help him reset and get into a better position.
Centaur is definitely a big threat. Even like Boundless Strike could be huge. As long as he keeps himself out of the Monkey King ultimate, then probably won't be stunned too many times. He may get 3-shot by the lifesteal. That's definitely the biggest threat on the map right now. That guy's going to kill people no matter what their stun or magic immune situation is.
Yeah, they really want to be able to kite him, and once the rage is down, he's quite easily dealt with, should like at least a decent number of their heroes be alive. But with an Aegis, you're definitely not killing him early in the fight, so gotta just try and avoid him as much as possible.
With that said, the mana drain is a huge aspect of this. They've got Diffusal Blade Manta on Jug, and they've got the Nyx Assassin as well. Mana drain him, he's got no open wounds, he's got no rage. It's going to be a whole lot easier to kite this guy. They just can't get jumped on, lose somebody right at the start of the fight. And really, the juiciest target to go for is definitely Invoker. Lots of HP, but no armor. This guy's going to die real fast if he gets caught.
Yeah, he will, but Abed, he's done quite a good job at not getting caught at all this game, really. 5-1-1. And he's been pressuring quite a bit, finding the kills, split pushing. Remember, this was a guy who started the game, 1-2 in CS against an 11-11 Lina. There was a Monkey King trying to snipe his courier. Basically, he was under a full-fledged assault in the mid lane, but he's the second most farmed in the game. He hasn't let that throw him off his game too much, and now pulling his way back into it as VG Gaming went for the smoke earlier on the north side of the Radiant Woods. Didn't find anything, dropped a ward, though, and continue to pressure these lanes, but Abed just back to his old tricks, pushing out bottom, nearly has a BKB, and showing no signs of letting off the gas pedal here as he tries to avoid that difficult fight against the Aegis mid lane, but Aggressive wants to force it. He rages pretty early, and he just jumps in, starts hitting the tower. He gets eyes on Demon, looks for the quick kill, he'll munch him down. Big grab, does have the buyback, might have to use it. Now, look for the turn. Is Abed does a decent amount of work here on RTK, gets skewered out of the way, has no mana available. Meanwhile, on the backside, Mason comes in, decapitates the Warlock before he's able to drop the Golem, and now they can move back in, maybe onto RTK, but he's so damn tanky, has the Shiva's armor, has the extra HP from the Heart of Taras. He survives an absolute barrage and still aggressive, also left standing. They're able to finish up Demon. That's a dieback for him. Out of the fight for 50 seconds. A clutch player at this last TI, but under the gun here as they are about to lose the racks, and now it's Bulba's turn to whip! A double disaster and double trouble for DC. Can Abed save the day up against the absolute hardest fight of his career, dare I say it, as they continue to work on these racks. They're going to bring down the melee mid. That's a full lane caved in by VG. They didn't even get to use a Warlock ult that fight, Kevin, and I don't think they're going to back here. They know there's no Nyx for 20. They head right towards top.
Mag does have buyback, but no ultimate, which kind of removes a whole lot of advantage there. And almost every single time that Aggressive uses Rage, a lot of bad stuff happens to DC's side, whether it's buildings or heroes.
Bulba, can he at least get like a decent blink skewer? I don't know who you go for, maybe the Lina, but he's got to find some opening. As looks like they will end up backing. They're content with the first lane, so
yeah.
The base now very open. Shrines likely to fall momentarily, as we do see that VG Gaming rotation. First the North Shrine, I imagine the South soon to follow, but map control certainly theirs, and I imagine just looking for that next good fight to try and take a second lane.
Yeah, I mean, after that advantage, especially with a dieback, I guess he did spend his time in the fountain at least, but VG Gaming, they're going to be able to control the map again. I mean, play it out safe. Look at the ward vision again. They've got sentries everywhere. They've got observer wards everywhere. DC does not have good control of this game anymore.
A very revitalized VG Gaming, who, you know, had a pretty big hot streak and looked like they might be the top team in China going into DAC. Then it was IG who kind of seized that mantle, has looked dominant since then. But VG Gaming coming back not only into this series, but also into this tournament and potentially giving themselves a boost to a hopeful TI invite if they can keep this up.
I thought for sure you were going to say into our hearts. I felt it coming. You didn't go there.
And then I let you down. And
no, it's okay. It's a little cliche, but I would have felt good about it. Not now. Cold Heart continues.
Of all the people to bring that up, Kevin, I didn't think it would be you.
Yeah, me neither, actually. What's happening?
Purchase
is VG Gaming changing me right now?
Things I never knew.
So controlling the map again, pushing the lanes out, making sure they, even if they don't have wards in the right spot, their creeps will give the vision for them, and DC looking to do some baits here. Please, Gankar Invoker. This is the guy that's been
he has been solo pushing a lot, but I don't think VG Gaming care about the Invoker right now. They just kind of want to push in these lanes, find maybe the next, just wait for the next Roche if they want to.
Yeah, I think VG Gaming's definitely going to play it safe like this. I mean, with all the tier 3s gone, they still have to get the bot shrine, of course, but control the map. Do the easy thing, wait for the pickoff. So it keeps happening. A lot of times it's been Demon 0-9-6 this game. Having a rough one. He set up a lot of kills as well. Never gets the last hit though. Abed always takes it. That jerk.
They are wrapping around though. He's a nice kid, don't say that. Flanking DC down to the bottom lane. Looking for freeze, and they're going to get the jump on him. The follow-up connection is there. Sunstrike ends him nice and early. Lina does have the buyback if needed. Does she want to commit it? Out for 30 seconds now. The rock gets dropped. FY turning, fighting, has the Wukong's command, getting the bashes here. Chain stunning Mason down. Buyback. That's a support Monkey King, but sure doesn't feel like it. Aggressive there with the follow-up, and now straight on to the tier 3. No buyback on Jug. No buyback on the Venge, so they're down to a 3v5 as Lina gets back into it. This could be the end for Digital Chaos as their hopes of a run at Kiev grow slimmer by the second.
Bot Rax is going to fall here, but with Jug 250 gold only off from his buyback, it guarantees the Rax falls almost instantly. They did pick up the Abyssal, which was super crucial to guarantee the Lina kill, but with no good follow-up, no good Omni Slash, the rest of VG Gaming just sat back. They said, fine, kill him. We'll wait till we're ready to get you.
Meanwhile, there's a 4,000 HP Centaur just running roughshod over their base. A Bulwark in the front line. They throw the Sunstrike. They throw everything at him. He doesn't care. He survives, lives to tell another tale. And
Demon.
Aggressive now, just munching on Demon. Another death for him. The long range taser from Freeze. That's it. It looks like salt in the wound. And a final finishing blow as VG Gaming KO Digital Chaos, knock them out of the Kiev Major. and advance themselves into the top 8.
VG Gaming, definitely one of the teams that had a hard road in the group stage, only going 2-2, but they looked real good in this match.